light as me. Man. what they say is a lack of participation. Former President Donald Trump has not attended a single debate this cycle, and Nikki Haley said today she would not attend if Trump doesn't. Following the withdrawal of thousands of Israeli soldiers from northern Gaza, Israel's defense minister says operations in southern Gaza will soon be scaled back as well. But he's ruling out a ceasefire, as NPR's Lauren Freya reports from Tel Aviv.
Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant says his troops have gone from defense to attack in Gaza, and that a new phase is coming. He did not give a timeline. He told reporters only pockets of resistance remain in northern Gaza. In the center of the Strip, Israeli troops are destroying weapon production centers, he said. And in the south, they're hunting what he called the head of the snake, Hamas leaders. The Biden administration has been pushing its ally Israel to be more mindful of civilian casualties, but there are no signs of attacks abating. In the past 24 hours, health officials in Gaza say more than 150 people have been killed by Israeli bombardment. And Israel says militants launched 25 rockets from Gaza, damaging a store in southern Israel. Lauren Freyer, NPR News, Tel Aviv.
More families could see a big child tax credit under a proposed deal in Congress. As NPR's Jennifer Ludden reports, it's part of a wider package that still needs approval by the full House and Senate.
The bipartisan deal by top lawmakers would expand the child credit for millions of very low-income families. That's key because the current credit is limited for those who need it most. Still, the expansion would not be as large as the one in 2021, which briefly cut child poverty in half. And it would be temporary, lasting 3 years. The wider deal would also extend business tax breaks, among other things, and its chance of passage is not clear. For families to get a bigger child tax credit this year, Congress would need to pass the deal this month. Jennifer Ludden, NPR News, Washington.
And you're listening to NPR News.
Support for NPR comes from NPR stations. Other contributors include Jarl and Pamela Moe, focusing on civil liberties, foster youth, public radio, and the arts. And the Public Welfare Foundation, committed to advancing transformative youth and criminal justice reforms.
Good evening. It's 6:04, 16 degrees in Cincinnati, 11 degrees in Dayton. This is 91.7 WVXU. I'm Bill Reinhardt. A new report from ArtsWave highlights the economic impact of local arts and cultural organizations on the greater Cincinnati region. WVXU's Hannah Weingartner has details.
The total economic impact of arts and culture in our region over the last 4 years is $1.6 billion.
Cincinnati USA Regional Chamber CEO Brendan Cole says that means $42 is generated for every $1 that's invested.
It's not an arts scene, it's an arts economy. And if we nurture it, grow it, and fund it, we will all benefit.
The report notes these figures don't include Blink, which is reported separately in the study. ArtsWave commissioned the report from the Chamber's Center for Research and Data. You can read the whole thing at WVXU.org. Hannah Weingartner, 91.7 WVXU.
Cincinnati Public Radio is a participant in the ArtsWave-sponsored employee group health insurance program. Pregnant people could claim their fetuses as a dependent on their state taxes under legislation in an Indiana Senate committee. Senator Andy Zay says in the wake of the state's near-total abortion ban, providing the tax deduction would help support expecting parents and families. This legislation also requires the person getting the deduction to submit a radiology imaging report.
You're building that relationship to hopefully get prenatal care and care for that mother and child as they go through the process of pregnancy.
University of Indianapolis sociology professor Elizabeth Ziff says the measure takes a step closer toward fetal personhood, which she worries would be used to criminalize any activity in pregnancy that might risk a fetus.
Placing the rights of the fetus or embryo above the rights of the pregnant person.
Senate Committee Chair Travis Holdman says he won't take a vote on the bill this session because of an ongoing legislative task force studying the state's entire tax system. A low of 17 tonight, mostly sunny, breezy tomorrow, but a high of 28. It's 16 degrees now.
From NPR News, this is All Things Considered. I'm Ari Shapiro.
And I'm Mary Louise Kelly. Coming up, how Israel's war with Hamas is affecting the economy of one southern Israeli resort town. That's in a few minutes. First, after a year of campaigning, after more than $120 million in ad spending in Iowa, the caucuses have come and gone, and the result was what everyone pretty much expected. Former President Donald Trump won in a landslide.
There's a for a special night, and this is the first because the big night is going to be in November when we take back our country, and truly, we do make our country great again. Thank you very much.
So, what's it all mean? For that, we turn to NPR senior political editor and correspondent Domenico Montanaro. Hey there, Domenico.
Hey, Mary Louise.
The Associated Press made a swift call, made quite an early call last night, and the call was that Trump had an insurmountable lead. What stood out to you about last night?
Well, surprises can happen in politics, and we should prepare ourselves for those, but this result was not one of them. I mean, I was surprised, though, at how quickly the race was called. I mean, just half an hour after voting began, AP and other networks were able to do that because of the overwhelming lead that Trump had in the entrance polls that were taken throughout the state, and then that matched some key precincts, and that's all that was really needed for them to have that kind of confidence level. In the end, it was Trump with more than 50% of the vote, exactly what polling had shown for months and months.
And then in second place, admittedly a distant far behind Trump's second place, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. What does this mean for his campaign?
Well, DeSantis eked out second place over Nikki Haley, the former Trump UN ambassador, and that means he's using that as a reason to keep going.
You helped us get a ticket punched out of the Hawkeye state. We have a lot of work to do, but I can tell you this, as the next president of the United States, I am going to get the job done for this country.
You know, this is only going to prolong a three-person race, which would only help Trump. You know, in all honesty, a path to the nomination for DeSantis looks all but closed off. I mean, he finished 30 points behind Trump. That's more than double the largest margin of victory in Iowa caucus history. You know, DeSantis was trying to sell himself to conservatives as Trump without the baggage, Trump light, but at least in Iowa, Republican caucus goers said they preferred the original.
And what about for Nikki Haley? Where does last night leave her?
I mean, she missed a real opportunity to nudge DeSantis out of the race and make this really a two-person race. You know, polls have shown her trending up. The super PAC supporting her opened the spigot in Iowa in the last couple of weeks, really trying to win there. And she just missed finishing a couple points behind DeSantis. Here she was last